feel toe, toe pivot, and then close your head, and that lines everything back up, and we're ready to do the turn. And see, we're getting around really nicely in the rotation. So actually, you know, if we were going around a corner, well, we'll just do it. Actually, let me turn you this way so it gets the camera this way. So we have slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. Now when you turn your head all the way to the left, right? So then you line back up there and then you back. Yeah. It's interesting how just, you know, where your head goes, your body tends to want to follow.
So that time when I was on my toes, but my heel went down, my right heel. So I don't think that was right.
Right, yeah. Yeah, when you did the pivot?
I did. Yeah,
Oh, then, okay, yeah. So let's do it one more time so you can see what we're doing. And we have slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick. Now I did the amount of turn at a corner, and if we were already going down the floor this way, here, let's say this is like, I'm gonna try to stay close, right? So are we videoing with that?
Yeah, I'm doing it with both, but it's not going to work like I thought. It will work somewhat.
So slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick. So when you turn back in at the end, you're turning your body a little bit too much and your head not enough, right? So
keep looking left, go to the left.
and you'll feel like when you take that last step when it's with the left foot, you'll feel me. Do you see that to turn you in? So see if you can wait until you feel that this time. So it's slow, slow, quick, quick. And now turn your head. Yeah. Slow, slow, quick, quick. It's funny because if your head is still to the right, it kind of gets in like when it's over here, then it gives me a view to see where I'm going. Or else I feel like I'm stepping right at you. Even though your body's still in the same place, it gives the feeling of like,
and I'm looking at you and say, did I do it right?
Yeah, right. Okay, so we have slow, slow, quick.
Well, too much.
Yeah, so you did it a step early. Slow, slow, quick, step early again. And so you want to wait until you feel me leave it, right? Because I was going to leave it. You had 2 more steps before I was going to leave it. Slow, slow, quick, quick. Now turn your head. Slow, slow, quick, quick.
Okay.
Slow, slow, quick, 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 and. I'm going to say and there.
Okay.
I'm going to say slow, slow, quick, quick, and. So you just know that between the last quick and the next slow coming up, you have to turn back. Slow, slow, quick, quick, and slow, slow, quick, quick. And because I didn't completely stop it, like we're done, you can see how once you do turn back in, it's going to move right away into the next move. Slow, slow, quick, quick, and slow, slow, quick, quick. Yeah, you feel the continuation.
Yeah.
So I think saying that and is really useful. Slow, slow, quick, quick, and slow, slow, quick, quick. And what I think about when I do that last step, so your last step, quick, quick, and slow. So I'm going slow, slow, quick, quick, and slow.
Okay.
Right? So it's and slow. Right? So you can see the continuity of that movement. Slow, slow, quick, quick, and slow, slow, quick, quick. Let me do this again. Slow, slow, quick, quick. When we go to the side, let yourself move a little bit. Yeah, you see, I feel like I would like to move a little bit more. There you go. That's it. Because when we move this way, I can only move as much as you will come with me, unless I,
Yeah,
change
right.
there. Unless I now I can move, because I feel like I'm not having to push you with me or anything, you're just moving, matching what I'm doing, yeah. Technology is so great and so frustrating. It's just as frustrating as it is great. Quick, quick, and slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, and slow, slow, quick, quick. That was even actually better that time. You know, because it was smoother, that end wasn't too jerky, because when you're coming towards me, I'm just getting ready to come towards you. So if you do too much towards me, or it stops, it's hard for the man to take that next step. It kind of throws him.
When I go forward on a slow, I was on my toe, should have been.
The first two steps are heel, heel, toe, toe, heel. So that means that last step, it's on the toe first, but after on that pivot, I drop the heel down to balance myself, and then I step back. Slow, slow, toe, toe, heel. Yeah, yeah. One more time. Slow, slow, quick, slow, slow, quick. Yeah, yeah, much smoother. How are we doing?
Ready to dance?
Well, just let me guess one thing. You come a little closer than the.
Okay.
There. Now,
Now, when two people, if you put it around just one of us and the other one gets in the way, does that
I don't
That
know.
would
See,
kind of bump it off?
I'm still learning. We just whatever we get, we'll get because this. It doesn't work when you're far away. It's not for parts when you're close up. That's what I just learned.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. You want to try that?
Okay.
Get the finger.
This slow.
We're
What?
doing the promenade first.
Oh, the promenade.
This is a twist.
Oh,
So we go to the promenade and then we go around.
okay, that one. First we were doing the other one, right? When you're doing the 2 steps and then 4 steps around and
That's,
forward,
but it
back.
starts in promenade.
the twist one?
It does.
Yeah.
Believe me, he
Well,
doesn't believe me.
Maybe I'm thinking about the wrong promenade.
Because we did a few different ones.
Well, maybe is this.
Are you doing, I want to see.
No.
Oh, you're doing the promenade pivot.
You're talking about pivot. We're doing
I
the
thought it
promenade
was
twist.
slow. 1, 2 more steps back, up, back,
Yeah.
back. Isn't that what we're trying to do?
Uh-huh.
But you're not taking.
We'll dance it and see.
But isn't it?
Watch what we're doing. You do what Gary did.
Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow,
Okay.
slow.
That's what I didn't understand. That it was really a promenade. I thought it was a forward. See, so.
Well, you know, the first time I showed it to you, remember I did it as a twinkle, because that's how it used to be.
No, that's, I'm mixed up.
Oh, you're thinking of
why don't we
different
say this? 1, 2, like that, right?
Uh-huh.
But see, I didn't realize you started coming out.
Oh. Well, the first time I showed it to you, we didn't start the promenade, so that probably for you.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Sort of.
And the 1, 2, 3, 4. The 1, 2 is slow, slow.
Yeah.
3, 4, quick, quick.
Okay, so let's do slow, quick. Okay,
Slow, slow, quick, quick, and slow, slow,
quick. Let's try.
And I'm saying the lady has like at the end of her 4th step, because she turns back to you.
Yeah, right.
So I'm saying and slow, slow, quick, quick, and slow. So that's where she's just turning her body back in towards you there.
Ready.
Slow, slow,
quick.
What now? You took a 3rd step, like you went left, right, and then you took another step instead of just staying.
Yeah, just pivot. Yeah, okay.
Slow, slow, quick,
And
slow, slow, quick.
Slow.
Yeah, so then the other thing to think about is on your 2nd step, it's not that you have to take a little tiny step, but she has to get
Yeah, all
wherever
around.
you take this step. So if it's out here,
Yeah,
then she's got to get all the way around, and then it feels like,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
So she's on the outside now. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, the walk and step across. And then as you unwind, do you see, as soon as I unwind, I start bringing that foot in. Because what happens is that right now you're waiting a little bit.
Yeah, I pivot and then I bring it in.
Yeah, you're doing slow, slow, quick, quick. And then you're bringing it on, almost on the slow, and that's where you need to actually be going forward. But I don't think it's getting us right now.
Oh, no. Man,
That's interesting.
this is a nightmare. Subject too small, get close and try again, exit.
But
So
it lost us. It's like lost
In
its
ways,
way.
it was trying to follow, and then it got
Got
stuck.
stuck up. Maybe because I walked over there. Who do you have it on?
Linda.
Linda, okay. So we gotta make sure we all stay close to Linda. But maybe too close knocks it out or something, where they can't find you anymore.
Boy, this is a
We should
work
be
in
able to put you
progress.
out of the crowd though.
I know. This is, I'm just.
It looked so cold first, but man, it's going to be wonderful.
I know, when you first showed me.
Yeah,
it was like-
right.
everything's so-
Okay, let's try it. Slow,
Slow, slow.
Well, because I didn't think of the third step again.
Yeah. I think you're confusing that a little bit with the pivot when you come
Yeah.
around her, instead of letting her come around you. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick. Yeah, that's better. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. But now, Linda, you didn't get all your steps in that time?
Yeah, I don't think I did.
Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. There you go.
That was pretty good.
Is that tracking us?
This is subject too small, like it has like a very
Yeah.
small little box now,
Yeah.
instead of box over the whole.
Well, I didn't draw it the whole, let me do the whole box first. So
You see
exit.
it's,
Okay, but let's go up here a little bit more here. Now let's do the whole thing here, whole body. It didn't do the whole body.
oh, because you did go up more than you did go down.
This thing is
Maybe that's the thing, if you don't get the whole body, it's gonna try, it gets confused.
exit again.
There you go. Oh.
And now I just have the face. You see, it shrank down to just the face. Back up just a little. Okay, that's it. That's not too much.
Maybe you are too close.
No, well, here. Now I can get the whole body. See, it just got the head again. Why did it do that?
Move back one more time, just a little bit.
Yeah, it's got the whole body. And it just took the head. Whatever. It doesn't like the whole body.
Now, before it did the whole body, the first
Yeah,
time.
I know. I don't know why. Well, I'm gonna not spend any more time on this. We won't have another lesson in time.
Yeah. Slow, slow, quick, quick. Whoop, now Linda, you didn't get all your steps in, and I'm not sure if it's the way that he's leading you through it, or you're just forgetting to take the steps, let's see, because you did that a little bit with me too. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick.
Are you trying to turn me around or?
Well, this is the problem. I probably try to wheel her around, but
And you know, if I get my hand, especially when I turn here to promenade, do you see how my hand can get
Yeah.
all the way around here? Then when you try to turn back to face me, it's hard to get you back because I've got you all the way around here instead of here. So if I just go slow, slow, and now instead of pushing you, I'm going to turn my body and let you follow me turning my frame around instead of
yeah.
pulling
Yeah.
or pushing you around. So keep the distance
Right.
between hand and elbow or hand and hand equal as you walk around, so you're not changing that. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick. And then watch your second step. Here's my first step. Your second step
Yeah,
kind of
look
comes
that way.
over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
Slow, slow, much better. Quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick. That seemed like you had better balance that
It
time,
wasn't right though.
but it was definitely better. together, quick and down.
Get ready.
Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick.
We have this. It's still forced, it's not natural. So let's go.
Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick.
I feel like she's got pointed around where she needs to be.
Yeah, let me do it with you. Up, are we on?
Doesn't matter. That camera's not going to be very good for you. Ready?
Slow, slow. Now, just open your hands up just a bit more so you're not, yeah. Now, think about taking this around instead of,
Okay.
yeah. Quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick. Now, also think about, I'm over here on this side, so the more you're over here with me, the more our balance is this way. So see if you can counter your balance by taking your head and your poise a little bit to the left, a little bit away from you. So we're not both kind of this way. So especially when you come around at the end and she turns around and you're over here, everything's like, okay? So I have to counter by really making sure that I'm keeping my poise over here on the left and not letting it end up over here where she is.
Okay.
Yep, now, even right here, so I'm on your right side behind you. So you stay on the left side in front of me.
Okay.
Okay, so we have slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick. Oh, just stand up straight. There you go. Relax your shoulders. And then just think of, down here. And up through here, through the spine, but relax. So if you think of the spine pulled up, but everything on the outside of the spine is relaxed down. Yeah. So you're not doing this, right? So this is spine and shoulder.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick.
I still feel like she's kind of a little bit lagging going around.
Yeah, and I noticed when you did that forward, back, side, the other bend, you're kind of, see, I'm not sure whether, again, you kind of needed to do that to get her to come around.
Yeah.
But keep the poise to the left, and I'm going to show you. So if I'm, you see, first of all, how if you look from there,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
okay, so now I feel like we have more of a balance. And then as we come around here, and she walks around, and I think when she turns back in, because that's a little tricky for the lady, she's using me just a little bit to turn back in. So that's another reason that I want, if I'm over here and she's kind of used me and my balance point to help her there, then it can really pull me over some. Do you feel I'm over here as opposed to? Because then if I'm over here when I go to step forward,
But I don't feel like a sharp pivot when she comes around a sharp pivot and then forward. You know, it's kind of like she's catching up and we kind of rush into the forward back. You know.
Yeah, so let me just do it with you one more time. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick. Yeah, I feel like that's getting much better actually. I don't feel like I'm having to pull her around. But, you know, because when you're in this position, you're kind of just waiting for her, but you're telling her to move because you're rotating on this axis right here, right? So you're going around. So we have slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick.
Yeah, that kind of helps the pivot a little too.
Okay.
That's I can feel the pivot, and then I know it's
Then you can tell when she's finished.
it's a good timing marker, you know.
It's like the recovery. You know that she's recovered, she's finished, and then you can go. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow.
Yeah, I come with the head turn, then I know, you know, the pivot and the head turn, and we're there, time to go.
Yeah, see why that head turn? I think the head turn is actually more important as a man. then the lady doesn't notice, oh, I didn't turn my head, no big deal. But for the man, when you go to step forward, there's his head right there, right? It's not, it's not.
Because her count is different than mine, so because I'm just going like this and she's going 2 more steps.
Yeah.
So that's my metronome.
Yeah.
Click, click,
Yeah.
you know, then we're
You're
done.
keeping her rhythm, so you're not.
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important.
Yeah.
Okay.
One last thing.
Yeah, it is important that he can feel that quick step, that
Yeah.
quick and slow.
Yeah.
Slow, slow. Quick and slow. Slow, quick.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And at the same time, the one important thing when I do turn back, especially if I'm trying to put some energy in it, is that I feel like if you're holding on to my arms here, and I'm not going to take any steps from it, I'm just going to turn here and turn there. Turn here and turn there. I'm not really turning that much. Mostly my nose and toes, but the rest of my body, nose and toes that way, nose and toes that way. So if I do too much
either way.
of the rest of the body, then it's harder.
Yeah.
Right? So if I think about keeping this still, so as we walk in this time, I'll have you do the actual pattern. So slow, slow, quick.
I love that.
Slow, slow, quick, slow, slow, quick. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to something else.
Okay, so then the other one we could do, which is kind of an opposite thing of that, is the pivot, because it rotates around the
I think
opposite.
we got the pivot. I think we got it, but this is good. So this is probably not good, right?
Slow, slow, quick, slow, quick.
Only thing is we get a little scratch here.
At the very end of it,
Yeah, so
right?
let's work on more positioning. Let's get a little closer so we can keep on with what we can. We're gonna go this way and turn right angle that way.
Slow,
Quick.
slow, quick. Yeah, I thought that was better with the shoulders that time.
But I still was in a somewhat funny. I was a little off balance. One more time.
Good job.
Yeah.
Slow, quick, slow, quick.
Yeah, we lost our balance a little bit.
And the other thing is, like, I can see from the back that your hand is quite far around the back.
Yeah, I have that
So
tendency.
that doesn't give you as much, like, if you're trying to go around her and over here, as opposed to she's over here, it's easier to get in front of her. But if she's right here, it's
Right.
like, it's hard to get around that.
Yeah.
Slow, quick, slow, quick. That was better, wasn't it? It seemed like he had a nicer, and again, I'm only just holding on. You see, my fingertips are just barely, the palm of my hand
Yeah.
really is more on the outside as opposed to,
Yeah.
right? And that's something that feels, one of those things that feels way better for the lady if the man's hand's not around. Like the men don't notice it as much, but the ladies are like, oh yeah, it feels like you're being suffocated.
Yeah.
Right? You know, just because you can't really move on your own that much. So I come around you. That works. Just, yeah, feet there. Yeah, so when you take the step forward, which is your third step, the step with your right foot, second time you step with your right foot. I'm going to stop right there so that you can look at it. Slow. Now, right here, take a nice size step between my feet, because right now I'm counting on you to keep that momentum going, because now I'm in a position where I can turn easy, but I can't really get momentum unless I pull you. I don't want to do that. So you use your momentum to step forward. Go ahead. Yeah. So the man's, and so what I'm doing is I'm setting you in motion this way. So if I'm not even holding on, we're going this way. So go ahead and just take your step. And then I'm just kind of tricking you. I'm going around you. Like trick, but I'm not taking you with me.
Right.
you're set in motion, keep coming forward, keep coming, keep coming. That's it.
Yeah.
You see, that way, then you have some momentum, but if you stop when I come around you, or take a, like a little step, glide, or something.
Okay.
So,
Slow.
now move it. Uh-huh.
That was like effortless, you know, just,
That
because she was self-propelled, you know?
Yeah. So that's why, even though we're the followers, we are also the holders of the momentum when we're moving forward. Yeah.
Okay, did that work? Good
Yeah.
for you?
It's like throwing a ball back and forth.
We were just doing a partial one, though, right? Or did we do?
That was a 90-degree
Yeah.
turn.
Okay.
We'll give it the whole thing.
You want to try it, Joe?
We'll try to- Let's get a little more running.
Slow. Quick, slow. Now, so here's the key, and the more you rotate, the more it becomes important. Like I felt like you took a nice size step. Now your step with your right foot. So you did this really nice, and you did this really good, and you came around here. Now I have to keep, she just steps between my feet, so she's right here, and I have to keep my right foot stationary between her feet. As I come around, it has to stay forward in front of that right hip. But what's easier to do is just do that. And when I pulled it back, now she's left over there. But I have to bring her with the foot, basically. So the foot has to stay right in front of her.
Maintain the momentum going that way, because otherwise.
So, yeah, so when I'm coming around, that right, do you see how?
Yeah.
In order to go that way, the right foot has to point in the direction I want to go next.
Slow.
Better. That was better.
Well, I mean, it's not just
It's a
that.
little awkward
Yeah.
at first because in order to do that, you have to actually turn
Yeah.
on your left foot.
Yeah, right.
Right?
One more time.
Slow. Quick.
Whoa.
Slow.
We crashed.
But you actually got some pivot in your foot.
Yeah.
Slow. Quick. Slow. Quick.
It is a lot harder to do the whole thing in half.
And then the other thing is that the tighter you have your arm
Yeah.
around, so if my arm is around here, it's harder to get around you and then harder to get you around me. So again, the more I have you out
Turn
here,
this off. It's still.
believe it or not, the easier it is to get around you. There we go.
Yeah.
Slow. Quick, slow.
I'll sort of force the last 90 degrees.
Actually, this is something I worked on with them in his corner one, because he actually has a really good pivot action for some lessons for this.
Yeah.
They take it on. So I'm like, I'm going to show you this step because we had just done it. I'll show it to you because I think actually it would be a good step for him. But he actually did it quite well.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how there's some steps, you know, oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of your style.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I want that.
Slow. Quick, slow.
Didn't quite make it.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to get it lower, but it doesn't quite want to go.
So being not as far around was useful, but being closer together without
Right.
there. So even though my hand is here, I can move myself closer and farther
Yeah.
without having to adjust
Because if
this.
it's too far, it's impossible.
Right, because the harder it is to get around each other, the bigger the circle of
Right.
rotation. So the closer I stand to you, and eventually you'll actually be like kind of right there behind my hip. So that. Yeah.
Okay, let's try. Closer to this.
On the pivot, and you know, for this particular step. So now before you go, that's it. And again, doesn't mean you have to hold her further around your back. Slow, quick, slow.
you get the momentum going and keep it smooth, that makes a lot of difference. So let's try that. Momentum and keep it smooth.
And stay close, yeah. That helped.
Yeah.
Slow, slow,
Quick.
quick, slow, slow.
I still got 10 students.
Now, I think you're getting a good step in towards them. But once, on your third step, but once you come around, this foot is,
I know.
yeah, airborne. It's like a rocket, actually. Yeah. So it's kind of like when you come around, you're doing,
Well, like, I don't want to put my foot down, because then we'll stop.
so when you come around and your foot's in between his, as I come around, it's like I keep an awareness of, kind of like with the tip of my toe,
Keep it on there.
until, so I can't just barely touch the floor until I go. So just think of feeling the tip of your toe towards the floor. Slow, slow. Quick, tip of the toe, slow, slow, quick.
Can I go toe heel or do I go heel?
When you come out of it, so when you come here, this is heel, heel, heel. When you pivot around, when I take the next step with this foot, it's, you see I have contact with the
Just
toe,
drag your
contact.
toe.
But now right here, when I go to step, I change it to a heel, because it's a slow. Remember the heel is on the slow. But I don't do a heel until the last minute, because I want to keep contact with the floor to keep my balance. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick. Yeah, that's getting better. Yeah.
One more time.
It's obviously much easier if you do it with someone that already knows their part.
Right.
You know, then you just like, but slow, slow, quick, quick. Oh, best one. Slow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look where you ended up too, right there.
Almost.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do something else.
You know, that one, every step of it looks just more control, more, you know, isn't like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of the other ones that we did, grapevine, we did that, promenade twinkles and the turning twinkles, we were turning twinkles with the underarm turn.
We were saying that we were having trouble with.
No, we tried to do follow through, which we didn't cover, but.
Yeah, that's the hardest one, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Because when we're trying to do it on the dance floor, we weren't sure. Does it stay in slow, quick, or does it go watch it? And
Did we look at that one last time? Because I think that one is different from your videos now.
our videos, see, we just look at the video and it stays in slow, quick the whole time.
Yeah. Hey, you wanna do it?
Yeah, so.
I have to be sure, and I should know just.
Oh, it's a
as
twinkle, so.
to be an example. Slow, quick, quick, slow,
Quick, slow, quick, slow.
Oh.
That's called slow.
You know what? I don't think that stuff's even in here anymore.
Quick, slow, quick, slow, quick.
And so then this is really
It's obsolete.
it's nice weather with the garage and yes, it's sunny.
Because we're all people in
We have different parties, so like tomorrow, Friday, we have this.
Oh, that's why.
So, that was in the full bronze, right? So it should have been where the prom, there's twinkle, prom, twinkle, turning twinkles, turning twinkles with other turning. That might be
So
later.
we just say is the amp and body, and then down here, and they try to
So it turns into.
But it doesn't mean you can't learn that one, because it's still a good pattern.
They're also celebrating chocolate thing.
And the follow-away means, so this one is just like the one that you did, because we'll do it since it's on the video, but it's still a great pattern.
And then 2 hours.
The turn twinkles was this one where she turns back
Yeah, right.
here,
Yeah, right.
right?
It's outside party, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we like that one. We did it quite often.
So it's just like that,
Yeah.
except she doesn't turn. She
Yeah.
does like what you do the whole time, right? So that's the only difference.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just like a lane.
Right.
And maybe that's why they took it out, because it was too
Yeah,
much
right, yeah.
the same. So they figured, oh, let's do something that's completely different.
Yeah.
Well, have we done all the runs then, or is there something?
There's still 3 more steps.
Like
There's
another
the
running steps to boxing and regular.
Yeah. And then this is a pattern, a brand new one that wasn't in there before, but it's quite nice. And, I'd like to still show you that one too. Not today, obviously, because I took a class. It's difficult.
Oh, no, yeah.
It's not even really old. You see how this pattern goes has a place for this twinkle? So it goes into like a woman grapevine.
A little involved, we'll have to.
Yeah, so that one will take a little time.
So we can just quickly try the running steps and like
Yeah, have you done any international Foxtrot here or any?
We may have done it here.
this lady that teaches the Tuesday always wants to do international. International cha-cha, international. Yeah, we have to do that. That's what's the question. What's that?
The only reason I said it is because if you have is like the basic step in international Foxtrot,
Yeah.
but it's still Americanized.
Yeah.
So you know how in your basic Foxtrot step you do 2 steps and side together.
Right.
So when you do the side together, you have to stop to pull your feet.
Right.
Make sure your feet close all the way together. So this starts to introduce the idea of some of those patterns in the silver where you're not going to stop all the time. So you're going to start getting more continuity. So instead of side together, we're going to do, and I'll do your part.
The outside part.
Outside part. So you know this from moving to the outside. You don't know it from the two steps forward, but you know how to do that outside part. But it's just 2 walks forward and outside part. And then they kind of
Goes
finish
back
up.
to inside part.
Yeah, they go back in line and finish up with
Just
the basic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Looks very simple.
So you're doing, and it's still the slow, quick.
Yeah.
Slow, quick, slow, quick. When we go backwards on these, since we have all these steps backwards, we don't go up on our toes, even though the man does, right? We're going back. So even though some are slows and some are quick, when we did that twist one, you know how sometimes you're on your heels and sometimes you're on your toes? When you're backing up, you don't ever go on your toes backwards because you can't really get enough movement to compare with the person going forward. So you have to roll through the feet to still move yourself back. So you don't have the foot rise, even though I'm not rising up with the feet, I can still stretch up when I feel him go up onto the toes through the body. But I don't actually go up on the toes to back up because it limits my movement ability. Yeah. So if you're doing slow, quick, slow, quick. So see, we don't stop until the very end. Instead of slow, quick, stop, slow, quick, stop. It's like now starting to take some of the stopping pieces out so that when you go back into the silver, you're used to that continuity.
The video also stressed that when you get ready for the outside part of the contract, you put some,
Yeah, there's lots of
acceleration.
Because you're at the end of the second step that you take, it's heel. At the end of the second step, you're going to kind of move up to the toe and push up through there to get some momentum. Because once you get up on your toes, it's hard to create.
Yeah, because if you get it too much, it'll be boring.
Yeah.
You have to have a little. Yeah.
it this way so you can see it becomes a very nice sweeping
Right.
and then closing right
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole secret. We get the lilting, rhythmic,
Yes.
forward
Yeah.
momentum to
And now, that's why when you dance at the parties, if anybody knows any of the silver, they just want to do that because that feels so good. Right, so then they don't do a lot of the bronze after a while
Yeah.
because they're like, wait, I can do all this where I never stop moving while
Yeah.
I want to go.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Okay.
So that, but it's so good to have the foundation or your house is going to be built kind of rocky without much of a
Let's just
foundation.
try one more.
It's not cold.
Slow, slow.
Wait.
Quick, slow, slow, quick, quick. Yeah, and because of what you did with your waltz routine.
Yeah, right,
What
yeah.
you learned from, Marcia, you know,
Yeah.
that is easy
Yeah.
for you, yeah.
Okay.
But for people who are just starting bronze the normal way and moving up, they find that kind of difficult because they
Yeah.
haven't really moved that much.
Yeah.
But they find it very freeing at the same time, they're like, ooh, and then
And sometimes when I get stuck and I don't know what to do, I just go slow, slow, quick, quick. I mean, I'm just walking in time, but it doesn't have the same look as that.
yeah, and just that moving to the outside,
Yeah,
gives you a
right.
little bit more freedom than
Yeah.
just all those steps straight
Right,
at your
right,
partner.
right.
But the box rhythm, the other one, does move straight at the
Yeah.
partner, but it does slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick. It has a different rhythm.
Yeah.
So having those slows in between just makes that a little easier to move at your partner. And then it changes the footwork in that too, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But so that, next time we can finish working on those two, because those will be good to mix in. And then
Right.
maybe mix them all in and then
Yeah.
wait until that next one, till we get a little bit more of, maybe the time after where we can mix them all.
You know, when we were dancing on Tuesday, we did the Foxtrot, and I still had trouble with hearing the music right, getting a beat.
That's the next thing, once we get all these patterns together, now we
Yeah.
need to just like
Yeah.
dancing.
Yeah.
Because you can get all these patterns,
Yeah.
but, you
Yeah,
know.
we like,
Yeah.
is this a Foxtrot?
Yeah.
What, was it slow, slow, quick, quick?
Yeah, right.
Okay, too bad my camera was a failure. God, darn.